Alright, so countdown to ProffieOS6. We're getting ready for alpha testing. So Frederick's doing the final touches there, but I wanted to kind of give an explanation of the edit mode menu system and the controls. So this is going to be a quick demo of the controls. Obviously there's a lot of menus, there's a lot of settings, there's a lot of stuff you can do, but this is kind of the quick run through of everything. There's a lot of documentation. Also, edit mode is going to have specific setups that you need for your SD card as well as your config to make everything run, and there's several defines required. So there's a lot of documentation, and I do have a separate video on setting up your SD and setting up your config correctly to make edit mode run. But so we're going to go into edit mode. So on my prop file, going into edit mode, your Saber is going to be off. First and foremost, you can use there's a new scroll presets capability. So if you just click your preset button, if you just click your aux button once and you're pointing up, you're going to go to the next preset. If you're pointing down, you'll go back a preset. But if you want to actually just use the dial to go through all your presets, you're going to do a long click and release on aux.
Select presets.
So now I'm in the preset menu and I can actually just turn to go forward. And I can also go backwards. So turning clockwise or turning right is always going to go forward, turning left or counterclockwise is always going to go back. Okay.
Always remember.
Oops, I went too far.
Determines your reality.
That's the one I want. And then you click power to lock that in. So now my preset is active. So you can choose any preset you want with that dial. And then the controls in edit mode. So to go in edit mode is going to be you're going to hold both buttons, and it will say edit mode, and it'll ignite. Now you have to have your config and your SD card set up properly. If you don't have the common folder or if you don't have the menu prompts, you'll actually get an error in font directory. That means that your SD card and your fonts are not set up correctly for edit mode, so you actually can't use it. So you're going to want to make sure that you have everything set up first. While you're in edit mode, the controls are the same for all the menus, and there's a lot of menus and submenus. But to go forward, or to increase, or to confirm, so there's going to be times where it asks you to confirm, it's always going to be a clockwise or a right turn. To go backwards, to decrease, or to cancel when you're asked if you want to confirm something, it's going to be a counterclockwise or a left turn. And then to accept, to save, and to confirm or select is going to be the power button. And then to cancel or to revert or to exit is going to be just clicking the aux. So it's click power to save, select, confirm, click aux to exit, revert, or cancel. And then if you're in any submenu and you want to get back to the main menu, you're just going to hold the aux button, and it will actually take you back to the main menu. And that's because some of these submenus actually have multiple layers. So if you're like making a bunch of edits and you're somewhere and you want to just get back up to the top, you're just going to hold the aux button. It will cancel and take you all the way back to the main menu, and then you can go through the next. So those are the primary controls. So let's go into edit mode. So again, it's going to be holding both buttons and obviously having everything set up properly. So now I'm in edit mode. So this is the main menu. So the main menu is going to be your start point. So I'll just let the menu system speak for it. So to go forward through the menu, you're always going to be turning clockwise.
Edit style.
So that's to edit style. That includes changing the style as well as all the settings related to the style. And those are determined by the style itself.
Edit color.
So you can edit the color, and that's all your colors. You can also do, so there's the color list, there's adjust color U, which is basically the color wheel, adjust white level, which allows you to brighten up to white, and adjust black level, which allows you to dim all the way down to near black.
Edit font.
Edit font is straightforward. You're going to be able to change your fonts. It's going to read whatever fonts are set up on your SD card. So you don't have to have all the fonts in your config. Anything that's properly formatted on the SD card, the menu system will read, so you can load a new font up on your SD as long as it's set up correctly, and it will allow you to select it right from the menu.
Edit track.
You can edit tracks. Now, tracks have to be set up correctly. They have to be within the font folder or your common folder, in order to be seen. And this is only your default track, so it's the track assigned to this preset. With Track Player on my prop file, you can actually play any track that's in the font, but this sets, so Edit Track only edits the default track, which is what would play if you only used regular track. If you use Track Player, you'll actually be able to choose through all your tracks, as well as do a loop option, do a play once, do a rotate, which just plays all the tracks in the font, or do a random, which randomly chooses and continuously plays all the tracks in the font.
Edit settings.
Edit settings is going to let you edit your clash threshold, your volume, your brightness, your blade length, as well as all the gesture controls.
Copy preset.
Copy preset will let you take any preset and make a copy of it. And by doing so, you can actually add presets. So if you make a copy of a preset, you're actually going to be able to then go change the font, change the color, change the style, change everything about it, and you can actually have a brand new preset that is completely unique from the one that you copied. So that's how you will add presets, essentially. And you can add as many as you want, and obviously choose all the fonts and everything.
Delete preset.
If you add too many, or if you have one you're not using, you can delete a preset.
Exit.
And then that will exit. So when you exit edit mode, your Saber stays on, but it's in normal operation. But let's go to the edit style.
Edit style.
And I'm only going to do a quick, actually, we'll go copy preset, and we'll do a couple edits just to demo it. But there's a ton of controls. So read through the documentation and read through all the menus for what's possible. But let's go.
Exit. Delete preset. Copy preset.
So this is going to be a confirmation menu. So I'm in, so it says copy preset. You're going to click your power button to confirm it.
Confirm.
And now it asks you to confirm. So this is like a double check. It's like, are you sure? You're going to turn right for accept. You're going to turn left if you change your mind. So I'm going to turn right.
Accept.
It said accept. And now again, to save it, I'm going to press the power button.
Main
So
menu.
now I've made a copy of that preset, and I'm in the main menu.
Delete preset. Exit. Edit style.
So now I'm going to edit the style. So this is a new preset copy.
Select blade.
So because this has two blades, it has an accent LED, I don't know if it's on camera, and the main blade, you have to choose your blade. So when you rotate, it's going to rotate and say the blade number. It'll also make the blade flash.
1.
So this is blade 1, so we'll choose that.
Select option.
Now in the options, you're going to have the ability to select the style or to do the style settings. So the style settings are going to be like style options, ignition options, pre-on options, style ignition time, retraction time, lockup position, all the settings that are in the style. So the style has to be include those options, but you're able to edit everything. But let's go. So the first turn will be select the style.
Select style.
So if you want to just change this style, you're going to press, so select style, I'm going to press the power button. You'll hear a little beep.
0. Option 0.
So it tells me this is style 0, option 0. So style 0 is your very first preset. And there's more in documentation on the styles and options, but it's going to tell you each one. The order of the styles that we're going to rotate through is based on your original config, so it's always going to stay in that order. And that's where your config comes into play for you knowing what style you're looking at. But so we'll just rotate.
Style 1.
So rotating clockwise or right, we'll go forward.
Style 2. Style 3. Option 0.
Now you're going to hear some styles don't say an option. That means they weren't built with options. So that's dependent upon the style itself. Style options allow you to change certain aspects of each style to really fine tune them. Certain styles don't have that capability, so it'll tell you if that's in there. But let's go.
Style 4.
So we'll choose style 4. So when you're happy with the one you want, you would click the power button to save. If you want to go back to the one that was originally there, you just click aux and it would revert. But we'll save this.
Save style menu.
So now I'm back in the style submenu, and if I want to change a setting,
Edit style settings.
so go into style settings, you're gonna rotate to it, you're gonna press power to go in.
Select option.
So now you got to rotate through your options. The options are based on the style itself, so this will vary every time you do it, depending upon what the style is set up to edit.
Ignition options.
So I can choose ignition options,
Ignition time.
how long the ignition takes,
Power up options.
power up options, which is that power up ignition effect,
Retraction options.
retraction options,
Retraction time.
retraction time,
Cool down options.
cool down options,
Clash lockup position.
the clash lockup position. So if I want to adjust that, so if this is what I want to edit, I'm going to press power. I'm going to get a preview of the position. Now that's for responsive, that means that's the center point. So if I want to move it down, I'm going to turn counterclockwise. And when it's in the position I want, again, the center point, so that's where the movement's based off of. Then I press save, so the power button to save.
Save. Select options.
So I've saved that, and it would be the same for everything. So you can rotate through all your settings as long as they're set up in the style for edit them here. But now let's go take a look at some colors. So I'm going to click aux to cancel or to back up a step. If I want to go to the main menu, so if I click
Cancel. Style menu.
so now I'm back to style menu. Say you're too deep and you want to go back to the main menu. You're just gonna hold the aux button.
Cancel. Main menu.
Now I'm in the main menu, so now I can jump to colors.
Edit color.
So I'm gonna go edit color.
Select blade.
Again, you always got to select blade. Every effect and every blade is individually editable.
1.
So we'll choose 1.
Select option.
So now I can choose the options.
Color options.
So color options is going to let me pick which effects I want. So I'm going to choose that by pressing power.
Select effect. Base color.
So base color,
Alt color.
alt,
Blast color.
blast,
Clash color.
clash,
Lockup color.
lockup, I went a little too quick,
Drag color.
drag,
Lightning block color.
lightning block,
Preon color.
preon,
Ignition color.
ignition, which is used in power up,
Retraction color.
retraction, which is used in cooldown,
Swing color.
swing, so if I have swing effects,
Base color.
and then I'm back to base color. So let's change the base color.
Select option.
So now there's 4 methods to editing colors. So the first is color list.
Color list.
Color list is 27 predetermined colors, and it'll let you rotate through them so it jumps to all the colors that are predefined.
Adjust color hue.
Adjust color hue is essentially the color wheel, so it'll change any color you want.
Adjust white level.
Adjust white level lets you brighten your blade all the way up to white. So if you wanted to get a white or a silver blade, you would use adjust white level.
Adjust black level.
Adjust black level lets you adjust down to nearly black. So we go pretty dim, but we don't go black because black means blade off. But let's go to the color list.
Color list.
This is the color.
Adjust color
Oops, I went
hue.
too far.
Color list.
So now I want to go in, I'm going to press power. And now each rotation is going to go through the same color order. So there's an option to add the spoken color, so that I have. So it's actually going to say each color as I do it.
Red. Orange red. Dark orange. Orange. Gold. Yellow. Green yellow. Green.
So let's do, oops, I went too far. Green.
Green.
And so when you want to save it, you're going to click the power button.
Save color options.
So now I've made the base color green. And then the same thing, you can go through adjust color hue, you can go through brightness, or white level and black level. But let's go up to the color menu. So now I've made my main blade green, but I want to actually, so say you've made a bunch of edits to your main blade and you want your accents or your second blades to match. We're going to
Cancel. Select effect.
So we're going to cancel. So I would choose all my effects in here, but let's go up one more level.
Cancel color menu.
And again, aux takes you back or cancels. So now I'm in the color menu. So now if I turn,
Copy colors.
so copy colors is going to let me copy all the colors that I've set here, however many I've set, to my other blade.
Confirm.
So you have to confirm, so that's a right turn.
Accept.
Accept and press power.
Color menu.
And now my accent LED is going to be green as well. And so
Reset colors.
and you can also reset colors. So reset colors is actually going to take any color that I've set and return to the default config. So I'm not going to do that now, but you can also reset all the colors. Now I want to get out of the color menu. We'll exit with the aux.
Cancel. Select blade.
So it's asking me to select blade. So if you wanted to do your second blade, you would do it now. Otherwise, I'll cancel.
Cancel. Main menu.
So I'm back to main menu. Let's do the font.
Edit font.
So we're going to go into edit font. So you're going to press power. It's going to start at the font you currently have active. You're going to rotate forward or back, and it'll take a second, but it's going to play the font out wave, and then it's obviously going to change the font. So sometimes the ignition covers the font out wave. Oops, I went too fast. So then you can get to the font you want. To save it, you're going to press power. If you don't want to save it, you would press the aux button to revert.
Save main menu.
So now I've saved my font, and then tracks works the same.
Track.
So I'm going to do edit track, press power to go in. it's going to start to play the default track. If I want to change it, I can rotate forward or back. So the hum might cover it a little. So now when I have the track, and again this is only the default track, I'll press power to save it.
Save main menu.
So now I'm back to the main menu, and then
Edit settings.
so edit settings. So this will go into edit settings.
Select option.
So now you can choose your options. So again, forward, back.
Edit volume.
So if I want to edit the volume, which is pretty straightforward, you go into edit volume.
Edit control settings.
So control settings, this is going to be all your gesture control. So we'll go into this.
Select option. Swing ignition.
So you can enable or disable swing ignition. So swing ignition is already enabled. So if I press save here, it's going to, or if I press the power button to select this,
Enabled.
it tells me it's enabled. If I want to disable it, I'm going to turn left and then press power. If I want to enable it or keep it enabled, I'm going to turn right and press power.
Enabled.
And then save.
Save gesture menu.
And then
Swing on speed.
you can adjust the swing on speed. You can pull it up or down to make it more sensitive or less sensitive.
Twist ignition.
Turn on or off twist ignition.
Thrust ignition.
Turn on or off thrust ignition.
Stab ignition.
Turn on or off stab.
Force push.
Turn on or off force push.
Force push length.
Adjust the force push length, which is the movement required for force push.
Twist retraction.
Turn on or off twist retraction.
Lockup delay.
I can set my lockup delay. That's related to battle mode.
Clash detection level.
Clash detection level is related to battle mode 2.0, so you can adjust that.
Power lock.
And you can enable or disable power lock. So power lock is a new feature on my prop. What that does is your power button, if you just tap it, won't turn the saber off. You'll have to hold both buttons to turn the saber off. Or you can use the twist retraction if enabled. But it just prevents accidentally turning your saber off.
Maximum clash strength.
And maximum clash strength is a setting that you set related to the real clash, and that's dependent. That's if you have your font set up for that. But so you can do all those settings. But let's go up a level.
Cancel settings menu.
So now we also have.
Edit clash threshold.
You can edit your clash threshold, and again, it's going to be your right rotation to increase it, left rotation to decrease it.
Edit blade length.
You can edit blade length. So the blade length, obviously, you're going to have to do a setup for it, but let's mess with it. So this one's actually, this saber is set for 136 pixels. That's my longest blade. The blade that's in here now is less, so actually this will be a good demo. So I'm going to go in.
Select blade.
So I pushed power to go into blade length. Now I got to pick my blade, so I'm going to pick 1.
125.
Oh, I have this set to 125. So there is a white pixel flashing.
126.
Oops, I went. So rotate right goes increases. So let's pull it back.
125. 124. 123. 122. 123.
So I don't know if it shows on camera, but it's actually, the tip isn't lit anymore. There's a white flash at the tip, which shows better in person. I don't know how the camera picks it. I know this is 125 pixels, so I'm going to go back up to 125. But you could pull it up or down, and you're looking for that white tip. So had I not seen that flashing white, I'd know actually the length is too long. So if you have a shorter saber, you're going to look for the tip to be flashing white. It's a single pixel that flashes white. That's meant to be the tip. But let's put it back up.
122. 123. 124. 125.
So I know that's right, so I'm going to save it with power.
Save settings menu. Edit brightness.
So you can also edit the brightness. Now the brightness menu here will pull down all colors and all effects. So that's if you want to dim your whole saber. If you wanted to just dim like a specific color, you would use the adjust black level in the edit color menu.
Edit volume.
And then you can, starts at edit volume. So that's the settings.
Cancel main menu.
So I'm back to the main menu. Now if you want to exit the system, you can either rotate to exit.
Copy preset. Delete preset. Exit.
And then when you're at exit, you would click either button, or at any point in the menu, in the top menu, if you press aux, it exits. So I'm going to exit. And now I'm in normal operation. So the menu's, oops, I did twist, so it turned off. But so now you're able to, the saber would have stayed on had I not twisted it. But so all the capabilities of edit mode are built into the menu system. You do have to enable the menu, and you do have to set up your config and SD. And then for the specifics, particularly related to edit colors and edit settings, style settings, you have to have the styles built out with the correct syntax and the correct arguments to make that happen. And every style is unique, so you don't have to use every single setting for every style. If you have certain styles where you only want to change a couple colors, you would just set them up that way. The ProffieOS6 library is going to give you options to set everything. But if you're building your own styles, you'll be able to pick and choose what you want to create as settings that are editable, and then what you want to just leave as fixed. There's going to be a ton of documentation. There's a lot involved, but it's actually pretty simple. It's just there's a lot to go with how all this works because we're doing so much now with OS 6. So we should be getting really, really close to alpha. Once that's announced from Frederick, we have some test styles, we have the documentation. So anybody who's going to participate in alpha testing, obviously know what you're getting yourself into. Alpha does produce bugs, that's the idea of it. But anybody who wants to help, join the Crucible. There's going to be a thread that Frederick monitors for reporting. So you do have to do all the reporting there, not through other channels. But we should be getting it soon, and once it's out there, man, I'm excited for everybody to play with this stuff. So lots and lots of awesomeness coming. Hope you enjoy.